Well, good afternoon, everybody. I don't know where to start. So, I'm a little bit early, but I'm going to record this video because um, I know emotions are running super high for everybody concerned. Um, so, I'm just going to run through basically what's happened in the last week. Although I know you guys have been amazing and you've supported us so much um, on social medias and bits and pieces like this. And I'm overwhelmed with it, actually, totally. I can't reply to each and every one because I'll be here a fortnight. Um, but basically, I just want to run through some bits and pieces. Some people who didn't actually know anything about my illness, didn't know anything about us being on dialysis. Um, and I'm going to just tell you the reasons behind that. Some people knew, and that was fine. It was no big secret. It was just I felt it was very important for me when I'm treating my clients that it's not about being ill, you know. However, I'm a bit bullheaded. Anyway, so a week yesterday, I received a phone call Sunday afternoon, approximately 2:10. I was having some lunch with some beautiful friends, and the phone went. Um, and unfortunately, it wasn't a very good signal, and it was a mobile number. And to be fair, I actually thought it was a client, and all I heard was, "It's Julie from the transplant coordination team in Glasgow." I nearly dropped the phone. So I lost the signal. I darted outside and they managed to get a hold of me again. It was a jittering wreck, couldn't speak. And she confirmed everything to me. I said, "How fast do you need me to get there?" And she said, "Well, it's very wet and windy. Please take your time." Right, okay. So we did it in an hour. I don't know if I've got a speeding ticket, I don't care. So I got up here. I knew it was going to be a long waiting game because they do an awful lot of cross-checking, both with me and the potential kidney. I couldn't say anything about this because if I got to Glasgow and I told everybody, people find it very difficult if I say, "Oh, no, it's not going to go ahead for whatever reason." So it's a real sticky wicket to be in, and time is of an essence, literally. So they do an awful lot of blood tests, an awful lot of checks for me, if I'm fit enough still. They then cross-match the kidney to be to make sure that it's going to be okay for me as well, and it's suitable. And the surgeons are happy with it. That's the most important, because people often get phone calls. They've got a potential kidney, and when they get here, it's a no-go. So until you're actually on that operating theatre table, it's a go-ahead. So that was all good. I was put into my room about midnight, and it was still a waiting game. Now, late on the Sunday night, the winds and rain, I got told it was coming up from the south, was all I was told. It had been put on a plane. The plane had been abandoned due to weather conditions, so it was removed off the plane, and then it was to start a car journey all the way to Glasgow. So that transplanted kidney didn't arrive in Glasgow until 5:30 on Monday evening, Monday afternoon, last Monday, a week today. They then comes up to the ward. I actually not physically seen it, but I've seen the box and the driver. It gets signed for. Final checks. It's then taken straight down to theatre. At this point, I still wasn't aware that I was going to theatre. It wasn't until my surgeon, Karen Stevenson, Earth Angel number 1, came in and said, "How was I feeling?" And I said, "I'm feeling great." I says, how are we doing? How's tests? She says, "I'll see you in theatre." Did not register at all. 6:30, I was taken down to theatre. I was assessed with an anaesthetist. 7:30, We did our final checks, and at 8:30, I was wheeled into theatre. I was so calm. I don't know where that came from. I have no idea, because I'm not usually that calm with anaesthetics. Knew nothing about it, obviously. Came round, I think it was about, I need to check the times on this actually, but I think it was roughly about 3 o'clock, 3:30 maybe. You are monitored up. Heart monitors are standard practice. You have your wound is, I had a femoral line in, which means they couldn't get one in my neck. This is just to give me drugs and things like this. That was put into my femoral artery at the top of my thigh. So you have a lot of pain relief that you just press a button. Didn't even need it. What's that about? So that was used, or if I needed it. And I also had a thing to collect extra fluid from the draining point. So that's in you as well. I had no pain at all when I came round. Obviously, I was still full of anaesthetic. I was so high as a kite when I came round. I was buzzing, and I was like, whoa, what's going on here? So that was all good. Came round, was a little bit snoozy, obviously, a few hours after that. The next morning, we come to move bits and pieces. You're monitored during the night. The staff are amazing, honestly. And then it was just relax and take it easy. The kidney, as you have followed us, the kidney did sleep for a good 5 days. And that is completely normal. People really panic. And I did my first transplant. It took over a week to start my first transplanted kidney. So this was no biggie to me. That it is a worry, because you've gone through major surgery. A lot of people are involved. And also because of a donated kidney is huge. So anyway, I knew that was possibly an outcome, but also because I've had a kidney transplant, I have what they call 100% antibodies, which means that my body literally has a huge army. I think I put this on a post. So any invaders in my body, the body is ready just to attack it, basically. So the any organ like that is a completely foreign body. So they have to make sure that I'm suppressed enough, my body is suppressed enough not to fight it. So there's a lot of drugs, anti-rejections is one of them. But also the kidney itself is protected as well to a great deal as well. So that was fine. We talked to it. We had a word with it, and we just said, now, come on, steady away. I know it's going to be a roller coaster, but let's roll with this roller coaster. And then late on, again, I didn't want to say anything. I didn't want to try and push too many buttons. I think it was Thursday, had a catheter, and lo and behold, urine in the catheter. And sorry to get a little bit personal here, but not everybody, but a lot of people in renal failure who are on dialysis don't pee. And I haven't peed for 5 years. And people think, well, what's that all about? So when you dialyse, quick biology here, when you dialyse, any water, liquids, solutions that you've drank during that 24 hours before and after dialysis is obviously in your bloodstream. So when you dialyse, it is then dialysed out and taken out through the machine, and that's what dialysing is all about. So I hadn't peed for 5 years. So it's a little bit of a strange situation, really. Anyway, so the pee started flowing very, very slowly, and I'm going, please, please, please. And you can't drink too much, because you want to flush it, but you don't want to put too much emphasis on it. So it's a happy medium, So anyway, that has increased. And I think last count, last night, I was up to about 750 ml in 24 hours, which is amazing. It honestly is amazing for a second transplanted kidney within the duration of a week. So gobsmacked. basically. But truly and utterly amazing. Amazing. I can't tell you. You'll always hear me say this, a word amazing, but I can't even think of another word that's out there. So anyway, that's continued. Last night, I eventually got the femoral artery line out of my leg. All lines are out. I have nothing connected to me at all now. So I'm free. And I've had a wander up and down the corridors. I've been downstairs. I met my mum and dad yesterday and my brother and his wife. And we had a great time chatting downstairs. Everything's great. The scan I've had today is even better than yesterday's. So it's onwards and upwards. Seemingly this afternoon, I am meeting the transplant coordinators. Fingers crossed. I know things have changed about what we find out about the donor. As I say in texts, in posts, it's a double-edged sword. Somebody has passed away to give me the gift of life. A very double-edged sword. Very, very humbling. And I'm not going to get upset, but it's honestly, it's heart-wrenching. And it's quite difficult emotionally sometimes just to take your mind away from them sort of things. But you have to come back to it all the time. And that will live with me for the rest of my days, believe me. And anybody who's not on the organ donation list, you never know what family member you might come across who needs an organ. Have a think about it, guys. Have a think if you're not on it already. I know you have to opt out now. It's so important. So I might find out a little bit more about this kidney. As you've seen from my texts and posts as well, that I have called it Team Queenie. And that is due to, I'm not sure what sex first and foremost, but also this is the Queen Elizabeth Hospital in Glasgow. And unbelievable. I know it's their job. I know they do it every day. But it is unbelievable what they do, how they look after you. And each and every one of us is unique. As you know, that's how I roll. And I love that. I love it. So listen, I've been on here 12 and a half minutes already. God, I can talk. Anyway, I'm going to cut off now. If anybody wants any questions, if they want anything, they want to know more about my story, please get in touch, because I am more than happy to share my story. The reason why I was a little bit shy about talking, or some people didn't know about this story, was I couldn't let, first and foremost, I couldn't not work with the work I do. I love my reflexology, love it. And if I can't help people, then there's something wrong with me, and there couldn't be something wrong with me. So I was not in denial, but I was very much headstrong that it was you guys that kept me going, especially this last 5 years. If I couldn't work, I would be on a slippery slope. So on that note, I know I should be on stronger, but I don't. I'm going to raise a glass of water with no limit. And then I'm going to go to the loo because I'm dying. Sorry. Have a lovely day, everybody, and lots of love.